Hello, we are going to learn how to make a hook that has some curves. We're going to start by creating a new document. I'm going to call mine task 83 curved hook, and it is in my classwork folder. My first step will be to make a sketch on the front plane. And I'm going to start with a line. I basically just want to make the very basic profile of this hook. I'm going to have a vertical line, a horizontal line that's going to sit right on the door, and then another line for this end that comes down on the other side of the door to hold the hook in place. I'm going to escape here and get out of the line tool because next I would like to use the construction tool and make a construction line right here. This is going to define the size of my arc. So we're getting our curve by using this 3-point arc tool, and we'll select where the arc starts and ends. And then we'll select what kind of radius the arc should have. I'm going to stop there. So now we have our arc that helps give this hook a curve. And I'm also going to use a line to just bring that hook a little bit further up from the hook. So you may have noticed I have not been using very many measurements, have I? Usually when we are designing things in Onshape, we have measurements built into our project. In this case, I'm going to ask that you take some measurements in our classroom and make some appropriate dimensions in your project. So that is part of your assignment. I'm not going to add measurements in this case that are accurate to the assignment, although I might put some dimensions in. My next shape is going to be, or my next tool, I should say, is going to be the offset tool. So we're going to use that to kind of mirror all of these shapes, but sort of on the other end. And I'm going to have this go in this direction. So you can kind of change, do you want your offset to be on one side or the other side of the lines you have selected? I think I'm going to go for about 1/4 inch in thickness. So I can confirm the position, and then I'll set 0.25 for my thickness. And I think I'll just put in some dimensions so that we have some definition here. Okay, and let's use our line tool to close the offset and make this a closed shape. There we go. Now that we see this gray filling, we know that we have a closed shape. And I think I'm fairly happy with this. I don't know that this is going to be accurate to the closet doors in our school, but I think as I said, it's up to you to make your measurements work with the space that we are focusing on. So let's go ahead and accept our sketch. As I look at it in 3 dimensions, it's just a It's just a 2D sketch at this point. Let's use our extrude tool in order to make it a 3-dimensional figure. I think I'm going to go for, yeah, an inch seems about right. That's fine. We'll go for an inch, and then we are going to also continue giving this hook some curves by using the fillet tool. And we'll put a fillet on this edge right here, and also this edge here. And that gives us a nice curve where the hook swoops up. You can change your radius if you'd like your design to be a little bit less curvy, that is fine. So it could be something like 0.25 or 0.1, just to have a little bit of a roundedness on a more square type of a hook. You can go for something rounder, but not as round as what we had at the beginning. I think I kind of like that. So I'm going to accept. And we now have a hook with curves. We are going to add our name. I think I'm going to put my name right at the top here. So let me make a sketch onto the top. I'll look at it from the top. And let me add my name with the text tool, of course. So we'll do one more extrude to make sure the name is in there. Okay. So there we go. We have a hook with some curves. Your job, of course, is not only to make this design, but to add appropriate dimensions. Good luck with the project.